Hey, warrior. Ha, you. Look at your life. I'm not talking about how it looks from the outside. I'm talking about what it feels like inside your head. The late nights filled with scrolling, distractions, and quiet frustration. The mornings where your body is alive, but your spirit is still asleep. The constant background noise in your mind whispering, you should be doing more, you should be becoming more. That voice is not your enemy. That voice is your inner warrior trying to wake you up. Somewhere along the line, you started slipping. You lowered your standards. You compromised. You told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. And now, days feel the same. You're not broken, but you've been drifting. You've been tolerating mediocrity like it's normal. But let me be clear, it is not normal for a warrior to feel this soft inside. It is not normal to keep betraying your own potential. It is not normal to silence your hunger for growth just to stay comfortable. You were not built to merely survive. You were built to transform pressure into power, to feel chaos and respond with control, to stand still while the world around you panics. That is the Stoic way. That is the warrior's path. So why does everything feel off? Because weakness has crept in, not all at once, but slowly, in the form of laziness, excuses, endless comparison, emotional reactions, overthinking, distractions. And the worst part, you probably got good at hiding it. You know how to look fine on the surface while drowning in a quiet war behind your eyes. But a warrior doesn't avoid war, he wins it. And that begins with one decision: to kill weakness, not suppress it, not run from it, to face it head-on, expose it, and destroy it, so the stronger version of you can finally take the lead. This video isn't about motivation. It's not about hype. It's about a full reset, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And this reset has 3 commands. Reset your beliefs. So, you no longer think like a victim or a slave to your emotions. Restart your inner fire. So, discipline becomes instinct, not effort. Refocus your purpose. So, every action is aligned with who you're becoming, not who you've been. You're going to learn 8 brutal warrior truths in this video. Each one is based on Stoic philosophy, real ancient wisdom made for battle-tested minds. No fluff, no sugarcoating, just raw clarity. Each truth will call out a weakness you've let grow inside of you, and I'll show you how to crush it with silence, action, and self-mastery. But before we begin, you need to understand something. Nobody is coming to fix you. Not your parents, not your past relationships, not a miracle morning routine or a perfect plan. It's all on you now. And that's not something to fear, that's something to own. Because if it's all on you, then you can change everything. You can rewrite your entire story. You can stop being a slave to your past and start acting like the leader of your future. But only if you choose the hard road, the Stoic road, the warrior's road. And that road requires silence, control, self-respect, and sacrifice. It requires that you stop blaming and start building. That you stop waiting and start moving, with or without applause. No more justifying weakness. No more calling it self-care when it's just avoidance. You already know what you need to do. You just haven't been doing it. Why? Because comfort is easy. Comfort is addicting. Comfort never asks for more. But comfort never gave you pride. Comfort never gave you power. Comfort never gave you peace, and you know it. So, from this moment forward, you stop looking for motivation. You start looking in the mirror. You start showing up when it's hard. You start fighting like a man who's done being average. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Don't just study Stoicism, embody it. Walk with calm, speak with power, train in silence, live with discipline. Don't watch this like you're watching entertainment. Watch this like your life depends on it. No more talking, no more delaying. Let the warrior rise. Number 1. Kill emotional reactivity. Become the eye of the storm. If you are disturbed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Marcus Aurelius. One of the greatest signs of inner weakness is emotional reactivity. You explode when someone disrespects you. You shut down when things don't go your way. You let minor frustrations steal your entire day. This is not strength. This is slavery. A warrior does not let the outside world control his internal state. He becomes the eye of the storm, calm, centered, and in control even when chaos is everywhere. But let's be honest, most people are emotionally weak. They act like puppets, easily pulled by the strings of opinions, insults, rejections, and disappointments. Their mood changes based on how others treat them. That's not power. That's dependence. What does Stoicism teach? It teaches emotional sovereignty. It reminds you that your emotions are your responsibility. You can feel anger and choose not to act on it. You can feel sadness and still show up for your purpose. You can be hurt without becoming bitter. But how do you build that? Start with awareness. When something triggers you, pause. Don't react. Observe. Ask yourself, is this worth losing my peace over? Practice detachment, not indifference, but detachment from the idea that you must react. You don't owe anyone your emotions. You owe yourself control. Remember, storms will always come: heartbreak, betrayal, failure, criticism. But if you can master your internal world, the external world loses its power over you. You don't become cold. You become unshakable. You don't ignore emotions. You rule them like a king. You don't kill your heart. You train your mind to guide it. This is the foundation of a reset, learning to protect your mind like a fortress. Let nothing enter without your permission. The next time someone tries to pull you out of character, remember who you are. You're not a slave to reactions. You're a warrior who chooses his response with power and precision. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I control my emotions. Number 2, kill the victim mentality. Take ruthless ownership. Don't go on discussing what a good person should be. Just be one. Marcus Aurelius. You can't reset your life until you stop blaming others for why it's broken. The second major weakness you must kill is the victim mindset. This is the mental disease that says, "It's not my fault." But here's the truth. As long as you keep handing out blame, you hand away your power. We all have trauma. We all have unfair moments, absent fathers, betrayals, heartbreaks, failures. But you don't need to pretend it didn't hurt. You need to make sure it no longer controls your direction. Pain is real, but suffering is a choice. Stoicism teaches us that what happens to us is rarely in our control, but what we do with it always is. You may not be responsible for your wounds, but you are 100% responsible for your healing. If you want to restart your life like a warrior, you have to shift your mindset from, "Why did this happen to me?" to, "What am I going to do about it?" Most people stay stuck because they keep waiting for someone else to fix it, apologize, explain, give closure. Warriors don't wait. They own everything: their emotions, their outcomes, their future. Look at your life like a battlefield. Are you sitting in the dirt complaining about why it's hard? Or are you standing up, sword in hand, determined to fight through it? Even in philosophy, Epictetus, once a slave, taught that the true prison is the mind, and the key to freedom is ownership. When you finally stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I will," everything changes. So, what's holding you back right now? Your past? Someone who hurt you? Fear of failing again? Whatever it is, own it, face it. Don't wait for a savior. Be the one who rescues yourself. No one is coming, and that's not depressing, it's empowering, because it means it's all on you, and that's where real transformation begins. You are not a victim of your life. You are the author, and starting today, you rewrite the story. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I am not a victim. I take full control of my life. Number 3, kill comfort addiction. Seek the fire that builds you. Just as nature takes every obstacle, every impediment, and works around it, so too can we turn every hardship into fuel. Marcus Aurelius. Weakness grows in comfort. Discipline grows in discomfort. And if you've been feeling stuck, lost, or hollow, it's probably because you've been living too soft for too long. We don't just escape pain anymore, we worship comfort. Constant scrolling, junk food, endless distractions, always choosing the easy path. And what has that given us? Anxiety, weakness, regret. You cannot reset your life and keep bowing to comfort at the same time. You have to kill your addiction to it. A warrior mindset understands that discomfort is not the enemy, it is the engine of evolution. Want clarity? Sit alone without your phone. Want strength? Wake up when you don't feel like it. Want peace? Face what you've been avoiding. Comfort tells you you've done enough. Discipline says you haven't even started. The Stoics didn't chase luxury. They practiced voluntary hardship, fasting, cold exposure, silence, not because they enjoyed suffering, but because they knew strength is born through struggle. If you keep avoiding difficulty, you will never develop the mental muscle to handle real life. Every time you pick the easier road, you shrink, but every time you choose the hard way, you grow. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be painful enough to force progress. So the next time you feel resistance, don't run, lean into it. That resistance is the exact place where your weak self begins to die and your strong self starts to rise. Reset your habits, restart your training, refocus your drive. Become the person who wants the fire, because fire doesn't destroy warriors, it forges them. Number 4, kill distraction. Refocus like your life depends on it. If you seek tranquility, do less. Or more accurately, do what's essential, which brings a double satisfaction. To do less, better. Marcus Aurelius. You can't reset your mind if it's constantly distracted. You can't restart your purpose if you're pulled in every direction. You can't refocus if your attention is being hijacked every 5 minutes. One of the most overlooked weaknesses that is slowly destroying people is distraction. The modern world is a battlefield of noise, scrolls, pings, updates, endless options. And the casualty? Your focus. Stoicism teaches us the art of simplicity, doing only what matters and doing it well. A Stoic doesn't waste time on the irrelevant. A Stoic sharpens attention like a blade. Why? Because attention is power, and when you scatter it, you lose yourself. Think about this. How many times have you opened your phone to do something simple, only to lose 45 minutes in apps, reels, and random browsing? You don't just lose time, you lose momentum. The mind, like a sword, becomes dull if it's not focused. A distracted mind can't plan, it can't reflect, it can't grow. That's how distraction kills dreams. It turns warriors into wanderers. If you want to rebuild your mindset like a warrior, you must declare war on distraction. Start by cutting the unnecessary. Clean your digital space. Silence your notifications. Schedule focus blocks. Protect your mornings. Don't just try to focus, train to focus. It's a skill, and it separates the weak from the elite. The Stoic mindset demands clarity, and clarity only comes from stillness. You need time to think, to listen to yourself, to align your daily actions with your long-term vision. Remember, if they can steal your attention, they can control your mind. And if they control your mind, they own your future. Stop letting distraction rob you of your power. Focus is your new weapon. Use it like your life depends on it, because it does. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I protect my focus. My future depends on it. Number 5. Kill excuses. Choose the warrior over the whiner. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? Epictetus. Excuses are the lies we tell ourselves to feel better about not doing the work. They sound reasonable, even logical. But in truth, every excuse is a chain that keeps you tied to the weaker version of yourself. Let's be real. Everyone has reasons why they can't. Not enough time, not the right moment, too tired, too overwhelmed, waiting for motivation, waiting for the perfect plan. But here's what separates warriors from the rest. They move anyway. The warrior doesn't wait for everything to feel right. He acts despite discomfort, despite fear, despite inconvenience, because deep down, he knows. Every excuse is a decision to stay weak. There's no Stoic who made excuses. They embraced hardship. They didn't complain, they conquered. Even when Epictetus was crippled and enslaved, he didn't say, "I can't." He focused on what was still in his power and used it to build mental fortitude. Every time you choose an excuse, you delay your reset. You extend your suffering. You keep the weaker you alive. And here's the ugly truth. Excuses feel good in the moment, but they destroy you in the long run. So, kill the voice in your head that says, "I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired. It's not fair. They don't support me." That voice is not you. It's your fear pretending to be logical. Don't argue with it. Silence it with action. Every single day you're given two choices. Be the warrior or be the whiner. One builds, one blames, one commits, one complains. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a powerful reason. You don't need everything to make sense. You need the discipline to begin. From today, don't defend your excuses. Destroy them. Show up tired. Show up scared. Show up imperfect. But show up. Because excuses don't make you strong. Execution does. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I kill excuses. I choose action over weakness. Number 6. Kill the fear of failure. Fall, learn, rise stronger. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius. One of the biggest killers of potential is the fear of failure. Most people aren't even living, just tiptoeing through life trying not to fall. They fear starting something because it might not work. They fear trying because it might hurt. But what they don't realize is that inaction is the slowest form of failure. A Stoic warrior doesn't see failure as the end. He sees it as fuel, as feedback, as necessary pain that sharpens him. Life's not about getting everything right. It's about getting strong enough to keep going when things go wrong. Think about how many opportunities you've let slip because of fear. How many times you stopped yourself from speaking, acting, beginning because of what might go wrong. That fear, that's weakness whispering in your ear. Kill it. Real strength isn't built by avoiding defeat. It's built by facing it, falling, and refusing to stay down. When a warrior fails, he doesn't lose identity. He gains insight. He studies the failure. He becomes smarter, sharper, and more dangerous the next time. Failure isn't your enemy. Comfort is. Fear isn't the problem. Avoidance is. Failure will visit you, guaranteed. But the question is, will you let it define you, or will you use it to redesign you? Every legend you admire failed. Marcus Aurelius battled sickness, betrayal, and endless loss, and still remained firm in principle and action. Why? Because Stoics don't measure themselves by wins. They measure themselves by how fast they rise after the fall. Start viewing failure differently. Stop saying, "What if I lose?" Start asking, "What if I learn something that changes everything?" No more perfectionism. No more playing small. Take the shot. Take the risk. Take the leap. And if you fall, fall with pride. Get up with purpose and move like a warrior who refuses to quit. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I rise every time I fall. Number 7. Kill the need for validation. Approve yourself first. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Marcus Aurelius. One of the most silent killers of your true self is the need for validation. You don't realize it, but every time you hesitate, overthink, or hold back because of what others might think, you surrender your power. You abandon your truth. The warrior's path is lonely because it's not built on applause. It's built on alignment. The world may not cheer for you. Friends may not understand you. Even family may question your vision. That's okay. Warriors don't move for approval. They move for truth. Stoicism teaches this with brutal clarity. You cannot control how others perceive you, but you can control whether that perception controls you. And the moment you start shaping your life to be accepted is the moment you betray your true nature. So ask yourself, who are you living for? The version of you that craves likes, approval, compliments, and external rewards will always be weak, because its identity is built on something unstable, other people's opinions. But the version of you that stands tall in silence, that keeps moving without validation, that keeps building when nobody's clapping, that version is dangerous. That version is free. You don't need everyone to like you. You need to like who you are when you're alone. That's the real test of peace. Start by doing things for you, not to impress, but to express. Build in silence. Grow in privacy. Let your results speak so loudly, people have no choice but to take notice, even if you don't care whether they do. Remember this, validation is a drug, and like any drug, the more you need it, the weaker you become without it. So detox, withdraw, learn to stand on your own foundation, because once you approve yourself, no one else can control your worth. Number 8. Kill your past identity. Reinvent yourself relentlessly. When the soul suffers what it must, the body learns what it is. Seneca. The most dangerous form of weakness is the belief that you are who you've always been, that you are bound by your past identity, your old patterns, your past failures, your name, your story, that you must keep wearing the same mask just because it's familiar. But here's the truth. The strongest warriors constantly reinvent themselves. You can't reset your mind if you keep recycling the same identity. If you keep telling yourself, "I'm just lazy," "I've always been emotional," "I've never been disciplined," you are programming weakness into your soul. Your past is a chapter, not your conclusion. The Stoics believed we are constantly being shaped by our choices, not our history. You can start again, right now. You can build a new identity brick by brick, thought by thought, action by action. But here's what holds most people back: attachment to who they used to be. They're afraid of outgrowing the people around them, afraid to change their routine, afraid to disappoint others who are used to the weaker version of them. So they stay small, familiar, predictable. You cannot be reborn and still cling to the corpse of your old self. Let that version die. The you that overthinks everything, gone. The you that seeks comfort, dead. The you that blames the world, buried. Now a new version rises, calculated, disciplined, focused. This is not fake. This is not forced. This is you. finally becoming who you were always meant to be. That means building new habits, thinking new thoughts, walking into rooms with a different posture, a different energy, a different mission. At first, it will feel unfamiliar, maybe even lonely. That's okay. All great transformations begin in isolation. This is your metamorphosis, and like the Stoics, you must be willing to burn away the unnecessary to reveal the essential. You are not your pain. You are not your past. You are not your pattern. You are what you choose right now. Reinvention is not fake. Staying trapped in a dead identity, that's fake. Choose evolution over ego. Choose your future over your history. Reset, restart, refocus. Kill weakness or live with regret. This world is not gentle. Life is not fair. And no one's going to knock on your door and hand you peace, power, or purpose. If you want it, you must become the kind of person who can carry it. That means killing every weakness that's been silently destroying you. Your emotional reactions, your victim mindset, your addiction to comfort, your distractions, your excuses, your fear of failure, your craving for validation, your attachment to your past self. Weakness doesn't leave on its own. It must be confronted. It must be starved, outworked, and outgrown. And that doesn't happen by watching one video. It happens by building a new lifestyle, brick by brick, day by day. The Stoics didn't just think, they trained. They practiced self-discipline, self-control, and self-honesty. They didn't just survive hardship, they turned it into wisdom. Now it's your turn. You can live another year in circles, or you can reset your mindset, restart your purpose, and refocus your life like a warrior. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being powerful, internally, quietly, relentlessly. The version of you you're chasing, it's already inside. It just needs you to stop feeding your weakness. So now I ask you, what part of you needs to die for your best self to live? Like this video, if you felt even one truth hit your soul. Comment your favorite warrior truth below. Share this with someone who needs to wake up and reset. Subscribe if you're ready to rebuild your life with power, discipline, and clarity. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins now. I want you to drop this final affirmation in the comments. I kill weakness every day. My reset has already begun.